Hey, all Dost Isms. So 30, I believe. Today we're going to talk about, this episode, we're going to talk about Aqua. We're going to talk about, change the title. We're going to talk about a particular trademark agreement here. That is not Aqua, but one of Aqua's subsidiaries named Altisource. Now, y'all thought, signing mortgage loan, didn't you? You didn't sign a mortgage loan. You gave up all your rights in your name. So when you signed, you sat down, you signed those documents and had your all caps name there, and below that you signed your signature. Well, what they did is they separated that capitalized name, that immaterial property, and that's what they're connecting to goods, products, and services, and creating revenues off those things. And so I'm just going to go through this agreement here and just try to get you to understand where you're sitting in this thing. So this is between an assigner and assignee. Okay, you're the uninformed assigner who owns the property. You own the collateral value of that name, and it has been hijacked by intermediaries, attorneys, and their corporate buddies here, and attach to different trademarks and different patents. And so you're the signer in this, okay? And you're gonna see how you kicked out of this thing pretty much right away. So let me just read the recitals to you. It says, whereas a signer, and this is between it's not between Aqua. This is actually between Altisource, SARL, which is Societia e Responsabilitia Limitia Luxembourg, however you say it. I don't know what the dialect is, but it's a corporate equivalent of a corporation in Luxembourg, and it's the receiving party in this case is Altisource Portfolio Solutions Inc. So with this, I will go through the whole chain of title so you see what this is in another episode. But what I want to kind of get you to understand here is how many different parties are involved in this and where you sit in this thing and what part of the agreement you have rights in. So this says, whereas a signer, that would be you, think of you, but think of the intermediary that's kind of taking you over. Assignee, Altisource Portfolio Solutions, a public limited liability company, a Society Anonymia, incorporated under the laws of the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg. Having its registered office at 40, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Grand Duché and registered Luxembourg Trade and Companies Register under number, blah, blah, blah. Altisource Asia Holdings. You know, jumped Asia, right? A private company organized under the laws of the Republic of Mauritius, Mauritius, Mauritius. How do you pronounce that? Altisource Business Solutions, Inc., a corporation incorporated under the laws, ready for this one, of the Republic of the Philippines. Polyplay Solutions Private Limited, a company incorporated under the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 under the laws of the Republic of India. Nationwide Credit Inc., a Georgia corporation. Transworld Systems Inc., a California corporation, and Transworld Systems Customer Services Philippines LLC, a Delaware and limited liability company, are parties to that certain purchase and sale agreement. This is dated March 28th, 2019, and pursuant to which the assigner, us, has agreed to sell and assign, and has agreed to sell, and assignee has agreed to purchase, among other things, the trademarks identified herein. So I didn't agree to any of this stuff, neither did you. We didn't even know about it. That's the problem, because it's kept secret from us. Now it's not a secret. It's like again, like I said, it's like catching your neighbor's kid in your cookie jar. And all these cookies have been disappearing for a long, long time. And where the hell are they going? And you come in, you walk in one day, you see your neighbor's hidden hand in the cookie jar. That's what it is. So it says, whereas a signer, this is you now. Now this is you. This is your living person that has ownership rights over the assigner, which is just an object. It's a capitalized name. It just exists in form only. So a signer is the owner of the entire right, title, and interest in, to, and under those United States and foreign trademarks listed in the exhibit, and the goodwill associated with all of the following. Whereas the assignee, at its request and direction, wishes to acquire, and assignor wishes to assign all of the assigner's rights, title, and interest to the trademarks. Interesting, huh? We knew that. Now, therefore, for good and valuable consideration, including the premises and covenants set forth in the purchase agreement, the receipt and sufficiency of which are hereby acknowledged, the parties agreed as follows. Now, listen to this. A signer, as is you now, if you knew, hereby irrevocably sells, assigns, transfers, and sets over to assignee all of the assigner's right, title, and interest in and to the trademarks, together with the goodwill of the business connected with the use with the use and symbolized by the trademarks, and all registrations, renewals, and extensions of the foregoing, now or hereafter in effect for assignee's own use and enjoyment, and for the use and enjoyment of its successors, assigns, and other, of course, got legal representatives in there, as fully and entirely, now here's the important part, as the same would have been held and enjoyed by a signer if this assignment had not been made. Let me read that again to you. That's okay. For signee's use and enjoyment, and for the use and enjoyment of its successors, assigns, and other legal representatives, as fully and entirely as the same would have been held and enjoyed by a signer if this assignment had not been made, together with all income, royalties, damages, or payments due or payable as of the effective date or thereafter related to any of the foregoing, including without limitation all claims for damages by reason of past, present, or future infringement or other unauthorized use of the trademarks, with the right to sue for and collect the same for assignee's own use and enjoyment, and for the use and enjoyment of its successors, assigns, and legal representatives. Not done yet. The signer authorizes and requests the United States Commissioner of Patents and Trademarks and any other similar government authority to record assignee as owner of the trademarks, in other words, owner of your name, of your capitalized name, and issue any and all registrations issued thereon to assignee. So when they sue you in court, they sue you in the capitalized names, right? In the capitalized name, right? It's not the upper lowercase name, it's your capitalized name. So that's what's happening here. They're listed as the assignee of record is represented by for Aquin or for Altisource is represented by the fucking attorneys. And it says as owner of the trademarks and issue any and all registrations issued thereon to assignee as assignee of the entire right, title, and interest. Well, that's what this court case is, right? You don't have defense against it. Why? Because you're not defending against the mortgage default on a real estate loan. You're talking about trademarks here. These are trademarks we're talking about. We're talking about bits and pieces of these loans that weren't loans, or chopped up into different business objects, which we'll get into as we progress through this thing. A signer shall provide assignee its successors, assigns, and other legal representatives cooperation. Well, it's easy to cooperate when you don't know what the fuck's going on and somebody else is impersonating you, isn't it? And assistance at assignee's request and expense, including the execution and delivery of any and all affidavits, declarations, oaths, samples, exhibits, specimens, assignments, powers of attorney, or other documentation, as may be reasonably required in the implementation or perfection of this assignment and in the preparation and prosecution of any of the applications for registration or renewal of a registration covering any of these trademarks. The assignment may be executed in one or more counterparts. No shit, there's thousands of them. Each of which shall be deemed to be an original, and all of which together shall constitute one and the same instrument. Copies, facsimile, photostatic, or otherwise, of signatures of this assignment shall be deemed to be originals, and may be relied on to the same extent as originals, except to the extent that federal law preempts state law with respect to matters covered hereby. This trademark assignment shall be governed by and construed in accordance with the state laws of Delaware, of course. Now it's interesting here. Let me go back to where's my over here. We talk about the Uniform Trade Secrets Act, right? Let's go to trademarks. Let's talk about trademark law now, because It's a violation. They violate it. It's a clear violation. It says also unlawful for any person on or in connection with any goods or services, which is what we're talking about here, right? Or any container for goods uses in commerce, any word, term, name, symbol, or device, or any combination thereof, or any false designation of origin. Well, go back to your mortgage loan. The false designation of origin began with MERS because they hid the source of the source and the source of the goods and services. You can source the goods for services that MERS was actually representing because they concealed it. False or misleading description of fact, or false or misleading representation of fact, which is likely to cause confusion or to cause mistake. Well, in this case, it was to deceive as to the affiliation, connection, or association of such person with another person. So, MERS with another person would be Altisource, Nachman, stemming from MERS. Let's see, as to origin, sponsorship, or approval of his or her goods, services, or commercial activities by another person. So this is what happens when they didn't represent that circle R. And this is a trade secret that we're not supposed to know about. This is huge, folks. This is absolutely fucking huge. It's huge. So it's real important. I'm trying to get everybody to understand this stuff because it is important. We can fight back. Okay, now, let's see, something else. Oh, I wanted to talk about, and that was it for the assignment. That was it. It says two-page agreement. Okay, now, since I just have this sheet out here, let me just go through this thing. Copyrights as well. Copyrights are important because copyrights is usually the code for the computer programs. Well, they've got Altisource has got quite a few. They've got a copyright transfer between Altisource Solutions (SARL) and Altisource Holdings (SARL). They got another copyright transfer, and then they've got a quick claim intellectual property agreement that's between Altisource (SARL) and Nationwide Credit. And then they've got a copyright security agreement between Altisource, Nationwide Credit, Equator LLC, and Morgan Stanley Senior Funding. And they got a copyright assignment from Equator to Altisource SARL, and they got a copyright security agreement between Nationwide Credit, Altisource, and Bank of America. This is one that's particularly interesting. And then there's a stock certificate for American Banknote Company. And there's a declaration for Aquin Financial Corporation, and then the software, which is Aquin Technology Exchange, Inc. And then there's an affidavit of name change, which is REO Trans, changed its name from Equator LLC. So what you're going to see here, what you're going to see as we go through this stuff is that the United States Patent and Trademarks Office is a crime scene warehouse. It's a major crime scene. You're going to be seeing things that bounce jurisdictions like there's no tomorrow. It bounces jurisdictions. They change names. They do reverse assignments. It is absolutely fucking corrupt. Absolutely corrupt. There's no way in the world that we could have known about any of this stuff. It should have been disclosed to us, and it wasn't. And so we've got a lot of we got a lot of evidence we can go. I mean, I don't think they never expected anybody to figure this stuff out. Guess what? We ain't got caught in the cookie jar. Anyhow, that's it for this one. Excuse me. Put a like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you again. Have a good night.